Tesla's success in the high-end electric car market has spurred rivals to develop their own fuel-efficient luxury cars. Now BMW has come out with a gorgeous 135,000 hybrid car that gets as much as 94 miles per gallon. But will Tesla's success with its all-electric Model S overshadow BMW's new hybrid? Loren, the car coach, not particularly fan of electric cars, took a test drive in the new i8, and despite the fact, Loren, you're not crazy about electric cars, you love this car, don't you?
If you told me to buy a plug-in hybrid, I would buy pretty much anything but I have to tell you, this car was impressive.
It looks so cool. Does it drive as well as it looks? I mean, it looks so sporty.
It goes as fast as it looks, too. I mean, it looks like it's really a rocket ship, and I have to tell you, I had the best time driving it all over L.A., and the looks we were getting, people stopping us, whether it was
that flip-up car door, starting with that.
Door. It's so sexy, I have to say.
Now, BMW is known as a very tight driving car. By that, I mean the steering wheel is so tight that you always have to be on it. You can't let it go. Is this a little looser than that?
It was a little looser than that. It's not a race car, but you could put it on the track. I took it up on Mulholland Drive. I had it all day and had a great time. But I also was able to cruise down Rodeo Drive and watch heads turn. And I tell you, this car is a head turner.
Now, you don't have to plug this car in.
Right.
But if you do, you get an extra boost, right? I mean, it can run off of both the brake and the motor itself, the gas motor.
Right. There's an electric motor in the front, and it's good for 22 miles up to 75 miles an hour. In the back, you have a 3-cylinder engine that's turbocharged. When you merge the two together, you get amazing power, and that's where the sport mode comes in. But there's also a comfort mode.
By the way, there are 3 modes. There is the sport mode, the comfort mode, and the eco mode.
Yes, and I drove it in all 3. And you know, when you're cruising around or sitting in the highway, the eco is great. When you're out you want to put it on the track or go up to Mulholland or have fun, I'll tell you, this car was a dream.
Now, you spoke to a tech guy. He also does PR for the company, but he's a tech guy, and he's told you, let's play that clip and get you to respond.
Okay.
The I-Series cars are really important for us at BMW, and we think, broadly speaking, they're important because we see a future where a new approach to performance is going to be really important. The idea that we can have performance, but in a very sustainable and environmentally responsible way. Well, the BMW i8 looks the way it does for it's picking up certain BMW styling cues. It's picking up certain styling cues that are very unique to BMW i. But the overall shape of the i8 is interesting because not only is it meant to be very aerodynamic with a drag coefficient of 0.26, but the shape of it, when you look at it from the front or even from the back, it's very reminiscent of a falling drop of water. For customers looking to own an i8, with a starting price of $135,700, I mean, you first of all have to be able to afford that. But beyond that, and obviously people will be attracted to the way the car looks, naturally, and people will be attracted to the performance of the car, so people who appreciate high-performance sports cars. But we think it's also people who are interested in technology and like the idea that they can drive a car like this, getting fuel efficiency that's on par with a subcompact, so they don't have to feel guilty about driving a high-performance car and having all that performance, because they're actually being quite socially responsible at the same time. The competition for the BMW i8, that's really hard to clarify because the car is so unique. So if you say, well, what's the direct competitor, there's really nothing quite like it out there.
Wow, that's David Butchko, by the way. It sounded like you really took that baby out for, you went pedal to the metal at one point.
Absolutely. We had the pedal to the metal, and the car really got up and went.
We're not going to say exactly how fast, because there may be a grandfather arrest clause in California. I don't know. Bottom line, does this thing make money?
Yes, it does. They've already sold out all the 2014s. Most of the 2015s are sold. There is a waiting list. So if you want one and you can afford one, get your name on the list now.
Now, is Loren Fix a convert to the electric car because of this?
If you forced me to buy one, I would. But the truth is, I'm more into the collectible cars. If you told me buy a Ford GT, which is $300,000, you know, I'd probably buy that instead and figure out how to finance it.
The key, though, is that Tesla, in order to really fulfill its dream, has to sell that vast middle. It is great on the high end. This BMW is obviously going to sell out on the high end.
Yes.
What about the middle ground? What about the electric cars that go between $30,000 and $50,000?
I think you're looking at the BMW i3. They are available for sale right now. BMW's had really great success with them. They are selling. I see them all over the country. And I think the BMW is going to have a great success with their i-line. This is a new future using carbon fiber and aluminum, keeping the cars light despite meeting CAFE standards and still giving consumers what they want.
Maybe I could convince my wife I have a midlife crisis. I have to buy
You
this
should.
car.
I'll see what I can do. We'll call Dave and see what
All
we
right,
can do.
Loren Fix, a convert to the electric car. Whoever would have thunk, at
Maybe.
least in this case.
Okay,
Great to see you.
thank you.
Liz, over to you.
Hey, whoever comes out with that in an SUV first, I'm having a mid-mom crisis.